What's up? Plitty Sports Gamer here, and I just want to give my take on the Kendrick Perkins JJ Redick conversation that's been going around the league. So I just want to pull up an article here and bear with the ads. USA Today has a ton of ads. ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins, JJ Redick, in heated MVP debate over racial bias. The First Take crew on ESPN's One Big Happy Family again after a heated debate on whether the NBA MVP voters are racially biased on Tuesday. My first thought is that is like one of the craziest takes I have ever heard as far as the NBA goes. How can anybody be racially biased in the NBA? It's like probably 95% African American. They get huge contracts. They're like one of the wealthiest people in the country as far as sports go. And is racially biased? Like, I don't get that. If it was racially biased, they would get paid like hockey players. But there's no racial bias as far as I'm concerned in the NBA. So let's go on here. Former NBA players and now ESPN analysts Kendrick Perkins and JJ Redick had gone back and forth early on the show when Stephen A. Smith was moderating, where the former NBA star suggested that the voters have inconsistent criteria for the award, which he says favors white players. Redick responded by saying the flaw of First Take is that hot takes like Perkins are encouraged without evidence. And I know my name is Plitty Sports Gamer, and as you can see from my videos, I stay away from politics. At first I want to do like my political takes, but I know it's so toxic, so I just want to stay away. But you see this time and time again, whether it's politics, sports, or whatever, people spouting different things like racist issues with anyone, whether it be white people, Donald Trump, white reporters, white basketball players. They're all racist, and they have no evidence to back it up. And this is, again, he's saying 80% of the people that vote for MVPs are white, 20% are other. So he's saying the three players that have won the MVP over the years are only winning because they're white, because white people vote for them. That's insane. Let's look at the MVPs through the years. Jokic, yeah, he won the last two. And he's in a heated battle for MVP with Giannis again. It seems like they're the only two players in the league lately. It could go either way. They're both on teams that are like top of their league. They both have incredible stats. Yes, Jokic is not scoring as much because he's assisting more than Giannis. So let's look at it. So you got Jokic white, but then African American, like all these players. You got Steve Nash and Nowitzki. Yes, that 3-year stretch. Like you go back almost 40 years. All these players, Tim Duncan, Iverson, O'Neal, Malone, Jordan, Robinson, Barkley, Magic, all African American. You got 1985-86 Larry Bird. And you're not going to say Larry Bird doesn't deserve it. He probably didn't lead the league in scoring that year. And that's one thing. Scoring is not everything. You got to do other things. The role of MVP is if you take that player away, the team will do dramatically worse. And there's an argument for Jokic and Giannis. If you take them away from Denver and Milwaukee, they probably would be worse. That's why they're the two top front runners. You can't be like a Carmelo Anthony and just score and that's the top stat. No, you don't go by scoring. You go by overall what they mean to the team. Kendrick Perkins saying it's racially biased is crazy because 3 white players have won the MVP in the last almost 40 years. How can that be racially biased? And he's naming scoring as the top thing. Like I said, scoring is not everything. And I just want to play this video here because this is what happens when one perspective doesn't agree with the other and they don't want the other to talk. Let's just hear JJ Redick here.
It is an honor to be on this desk every day. It really is. But what we've just witnessed is the problem with this show, where we create narratives that do not exist in reality. The implication, what you are implying, that the white voters that vote on NBA are racist, that they favor white people. You just said that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That is exactly what you implied, Kendrick Perkins. That is exactly what you implied. Secondly, hold on.
I did not come. I stated the facts. And you're not about to sit up.
We all know what you implied the other day. We all know what you implied just now. Hold on.
I stated it's the facts. It's the facts.
And one thing, I've never seen Stephen A be so quiet. You know there's something going on here. My point was, before this video, did you notice Kendrick Perkins, after JJ Redick was trying to talk, it talked over him? That's happens all the time. If you don't agree with that person, I'm just gonna yell over you and not let you talk. And you see that all the time in this country. If they don't agree with you, they start yelling. You've seen time and time again. To me, the idea of discussion is hearing one point, then rebutting from that point, hearing the other point, let them talk. What JJ Redick was trying to do is point out what happens a lot where they just say something to try to get clicks, try to get viewers, try to get people talking about it. So you say these outrageous statements and get people talking, and it worked. There's a lot of people talking about this Kendrick Perkins and JJ Redick thing, and it's probably gonna simmer down, probably, then start heating back up when the MVP is named. The point of my video is, it is insane to insinuate there's any racial bias going on to have Jokic. And Kendrick Perkins thinks Embiid should be MVP, not Jokic. And Perkins claimed that voters have inconsistent criteria for the award, which leads to white players winning it. 3 white players 5 times total in the last 40 years. The way he's talking, it's like the opposite. The way he's talking is like 3 African American players have won in the last 40 years, and that people vote for white. It's insane. It's stupid. Perkins says, I ask, what is the criteria for MVP and how the goalposts have moved? I'm asking these questions for a reason. When I look at JJ, I hear him talk because he's so big in analytics, and he's a historian. When it comes down to diving in deep and going back into history and talk about the evolution of the game, why didn't he never bring up this point in particular subject? When it comes down to guys winning MVP since 1990, it's only 3 guys that have won MVP that wasn't top 10 in scoring. Did you know those 3 guys were? Yeah, we all know. Nash, Jokic, and Nowitzki. But JJ Redick did say Magic Johnson was outside the top 10. He won it multiple times. And I'm not saying Magic should have won it. He should have won it those years because he was the team. He made the Lakers Showtime chug all those years. All right, I just want to point out the stat padding. There's another stupid argument. Yes, every player is concerned about their stats. They want to have the best stats. There's no doubt about that. Stat padding is the thing, but who cares? So my point is, do you think Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan weren't thinking about stat padding? Do you think they're scoring so much that they're not taking 30 to 40 shots a game? That's why they were taking that many shots to pad their scoring. They wanted to lead the league in scoring. So the stat padding is another stupid argument. So this is my take on the situation. I think it's stupid to think this is racially biased. So let me know what you guys think. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Thanks. See ya.